What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Modified Mondays, the show where we give you an inside look at an iRacing season. This was the start of the NASCAR season this weekend. We had truck racing on Friday, we had Xfinity Series on Saturday, we had the Monster Energy Cup Series on Sunday. Wrecks everywhere, except for the Xfinity Series. The Xfinity Series was pretty mild, but the Truck Series had people getting caught on fire. They had crew members getting run over. I couldn't believe how many wrecks there were. Those trucks are just wobbling all over the place. And we had the Xfinity Series on Saturday, which was fun to watch. But then you had the big shebang. You had the Daytona 500 on Sunday, and it was a wreck fest. First two stages were pretty clean. There was a couple accidents here and there. And then that final stage was nuts. There was so many accidents. Hats off to Ryan Preece. He's a fellow New England driver, drives modifieds down in Stafford, does the Whalen Modified Tour. He was racing in the Xfinity Series, won at Loudon, and now he's got a ticket in the big show in the Monster Cup Energy Series, and he was just threading the needle. I mean, that kid took sewing classes the way he was threading the needle tonight. I think he missed like 3 crazy wrecks. I mean, the cars are just sliding into each other, and he's slipping right through. Got himself all the way up into third behind Logano, and it looks like he hit the brakes a little bit, and you just can't do that with a green-white checkered. So he ended up slipping all the way back to 8th. But still, he started 21st in the race, and he ended up getting all the way up to 8th place. So, yeah, hats off to Ryan Preece. Going to be looking to see more out of him this season. So I apologize to anyone that missed out on Tuning Tuesday this week. I was down with the flu. Didn't get started tuning the car until Friday night. I was watching the Truck Series, trying to get the car ready. Started off with the Bullring setup that iRacing provides and had a 15.3 as my fastest lap. In the car for about an hour, got the car down to a 14.2. Then I started talking to Scott Sterling, playing around with a few things. He was basically telling me to go in really slow, let off the throttle really early. It's going to seem weird, but it'll get the car nice and rotated. You'll keep a lot of momentum in the car, and then you'll be able to power out of the corner sooner. So I did a couple follow laps with him just to get an idea of what he was talking about, and then put it into practice and got the car down to a 13.98. A lot of the guys on the server were running 13.7s, so to be at 13.98 was really, really good. So really, really liking the way the car's handling this week. My big thing is just being consistent with my throttle application. That's one thing I'm struggling with, but overall, I think the car itself is really, really good this week. Probably the fastest car I've had all season. Also in the news, I was hired by Short Track Weapons, a New England-based iRacing league, to do their showcasting. So Monday nights at 8 p.m., I will be showcasting live their races. They're going to be doing some heat racing to do their qualifying. They've got about 50 drivers that come out for these races, but only 30 can compete in the feature. So we're going to have a bunch of heat races starting off at 8 o'clock, figure out who's actually going to be competing in that week's race, and then 30 plus drivers, because we'll have a few provisionals. We'll be racing for the top spot. This week we're kicking it off at the Bullring. You're going to see some late model cars doing 75 laps. Should be an interesting time, so be sure to stop by and check that. Hit that subscribe button so as soon as we go live, you'll be able to see it. We'll be doing it right here on YouTube. So with all that out of the way, let's get into some racing. Here we are running the Bullring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for week 10 of the SK Modified season. Only 2 more races after this one before the champion is declared. Tonight we're going to have 10 cars running in the pack, and here is how that grid panned out after qualifying. Here we are coming towards the green, starting in 3rd place. Get a really good start, drafting off a Luke, push ourselves up into 2nd place. Got a nice run at the beginning of the race. Mike Harrell having a little bit of connection issues. Evan Martian able to get around it. I tell you who was impacted by it though. The number 4 of Kurt Merrifield gets spun around. Probably jacked up a little bit coming around that corner, thinking there was going to be an incident, and yeah, just got a little bit of rear-ended, a little bit loose. See if he can get back on it. Here we are lapping him. But Evan Marchand and Mike Harrell are really going at it. Nice close racing. See if Mike can get around him here. Evan's from New England. He's got a really loose car, though. Putting some effort in. Here we have me and Luke Lesage racing. Luke's in first place. I'm following behind in second, getting through some lap traffic. Hats off to everybody that was a few laps down, causing some wrecks. Everybody was pretty considerate of the leaders. We let them know that we were coming, and they moved right out of the way. But yeah, Luke's got a nice little lead here. We're going to see if we can try and tighten that up a little bit. We have Mike Harrell and Evan Marchand again. Ooh! Evan got a little loose, and Mike ended up giving him a bump. Not really anything he could do there. Kind of stayed in the throttle and pushed Evan out of the way. Evan will have to come into the pits for that one, but that'll move Mike Harrell up in the lead a little bit. That's going on. I am starting to close the gap. I think for the middle part of the race, I was able to shave a few tenths of a second off of each lap. Slowly catching up. And here's a few laps later. I know I'm really close. Trying to shove it down the inside. Can't seem to do it. He's taking a really wide line. I'm going really shallow. Trying to shoot it in there. Now we're going to try and get an inside pass, but he closes the door. We have to end up letting off the throttle just to make sure there isn't an accident. We're running 1 and 2. I don't want to lose any championship points because those are really what's important here. But I would love to get my first win. That gives him a little bit of breathing room, having to get off the throttle there. I could have buried the throttle like I did last week and just bumped him, but yeah, I just didn't want to play that game tonight. Luke was racing me clean, but he was doing a little bit of blocking. That's racing. And here we have Dallas Hall getting hunted down by the number 6 of Rowdy Canyon. He's starting to move his way back to the pack after that early incident where he spun out due to some netcode issues. I think his ping was at like 250. Looks like it may have come down now because he's running a lot cleaner. See if he can get by Dallas Hall. Going down into turn 1. Really close on the bumper. Getting some lap cars. Can he push through? A little bit of a bump. Coming on the inside. Can he hold it? That pulls Dallas Hall wide. And Rowdy Hall will get by him. Now he's just got to try and get himself around the number 9 of Mike Harrell. A few laps later, Rowdy has found Mike, and they are going at it. Can he seal the deal here? Right on the inside, really close, presses him against that wall, probably gets him out of the throttle a little bit, secures that pass. Mike goes for the over-under, but can't secure it. Let's see if he can get him back here. Really close racing, but it looks like Rowdy may have a little bit of a faster car. Starting to pull away. Here we are coming around, final 2 laps. Am I going to be able to get myself a win here at the Bullring? Coming in, final turn. Trying to drive it through. Am I going to be able to get it? No. Second place. Wow, what a race. Shout out to Luke. That was an amazing race the entire way through. I'd catch up to him. I'd think I'd have it in. He'd close the door. I'd have to back out the throttle a little bit, not cause a wreck. Yeah, huge respect to him. Really great racing. Looking at the average lap times between the two of us, we were only separated by 1/100th of a second. Looks like at the end I was maybe half a second behind him, but overall, really, really good race. Car was feeling really good. I knew we had a top 3 car. Qualified 3rd. Ended up bumping up to 2nd place off the start. We had that nice inside line. We were able to draft off a Luke around that corner. get out into second place. Rowdy ended up spinning out behind us, which helped out a little bit, slowed down some of the cars behind us, and it was just a nice clean race from there on out. With only 3 races left in the season, championship points are becoming even more critical. Having a nice second place finish here was pretty much needed. We got 42 championship points from it, which is good. All right, let's take a look at how that championship leaderboard is panning out. Robert Tibbs holds on to first place for the 2nd straight week. Joshua Hawks holds on to second place, but pay close attention to the championship points, as Michael Herrera is just 1 point behind in 3rd place. I'm still holding on to 4th spot with a 100-point gap over Nick Leonard, who jumped into the top 10 with a 5th place position. Very impressive there. Burrell Narcombe drops down to 6th, Joshua Carden 7th, Randall Clark 8th, Jonathan Cross slides down to the 9th after joining the top 10 last week, and Jeremy Mogul will join the top 10 in the 10th spot. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week. Be sure to catch Short Track Weapons. I'll be shoutcasting that at 8 p.m. We'll be kicking off the heat races, followed by a 75-lap feature at the Bullring. We're going to be doing some late model races. Should be an interesting time. All these guys are New England-based racers. A lot of them are real-world racers, too, just trying to get some racing in during the off-season. So be sure to swing by for that. It's going to be a great time. We'll have the chat open. You guys can leave some comments as you watch along, and we will see who comes out on top this week. So stick around for that. Leave a comment on what you thought of the Daytona festivities this weekend. What was your favorite series? Did you like the Truck Series? Did you like the Xfinity or the Monster Energy Cup Series? Let me know in the comments below. So next week, we're going to be doing 40 laps around Stafford Motor Speedway, another local track right down the street. So looking forward to that. Hopefully you can pull out a win. We had a really good tuned car this week. Hopefully you can do the same next week. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone that's been supporting the channel by subscribing and sharing. It really, really does help out a lot. We'll be doing another Modified Monday episode next Monday. We'll be doing some Short Track Weapon live stream broadcasts as well at 8 o'clock. And we'll be doing Tuning Tuesdays at 7:30 on Tuesday. So a whole lot of content coming for you guys. Please join the community, leave a comment below, and I will see you guys next week. Peace. Where you coming from?